Hello everyone, today's video is all about tax admin, specifically getting it right and the consequences which can be quite dire if you get the administration of your tax obligations wrong. So this particular case, which actually went to court, concerns a leisure park. Now what they did, they submitted their corporation tax return 18 months late, and they were hit for a penalty by HMRC just short of 30 grand. So it was about £28,000 for being late. So that's not the tax that was assessed or anything. That was just the penalty for actually being late. So the company appealed, and they said, we got a good excuse for being late with our corporation tax return. It's because we do a lot of business with a certain company and we can't verify the transactions with that company because they've had their books and records seized by HMRC. So that's why we can't finalize our accounts. And then when it came to the actual court case, the tribunal, they changed that argument, did the company. They said, actually, you know what, we're going to change our argument and say the reason that the corporation tax return was late was because our sister company did something similar. They were way over the filing deadline with their own corporation tax return, so they were late, but HMRC reduced their penalty to nil. So they argued that, well, if you are reducing our sister company's penalty, Mr. Taxman, to zero, then that's a reasonable excuse. Then you should do the same. You should do the same for us. So when this case got to the court, the tribunal said, look, they actually said HMRC, sometimes they get it wrong. So they could have got that point wrong, that they reduced their sister company's penalty to zero. But even so, you cannot rely on that. It's no excuse to say, oh, well, because you treat someone this way, it applies to me. Case turns on its facts. You have to look at each company in isolation. So that was the first thing. The second thing, they also picked up on the original defense, as it were, of the fact that it was late because they were trading with this other company who had their records seized by HMRC. And then the tribunal said, look, had you kept up with that defense, we wouldn't have allowed that one either, because the law says that you have to keep your own books and records. You don't rely on the books and records of another business. So that that defense would have failed as well. So just a quick update on a recent tribunal for corporation tax compliance, specifically for getting tax returns in late. It can be very costly. 28 grand is a big bill just for getting the paperwork late, but that's what happens. They are the rules. They tried a couple of reasons as to why that was. That didn't wash with the courts, but do bear in mind, if you are the director shareholder of a limited company, do not be late with filing your corporation tax return. So if you like this video, please do subscribe here, and I will see you soon.